Hello friends, tonight we're going to take a look at this federal range target practice ammo. This is my favorite range ammo. This is a box of 9mm. It is a 115 grain projectile, a lovely full metal jacket, great for the range. Also, lovely brass cases, I'm sure great for reloading. They seem to be very high quality. I'm sure it's just like everything else that Federal makes. I bet the cases are great. Federal says on the box that the muzzle velocity is 1125. I've read conflicting information there, though some sources online say these are 1180 feet per second, which is more what it feels like to me when I shoot them. These do feel a bit more stout than some other target loads, but not by much. I mean, this is still inexpensive target ammo. But I have noticed these are very consistent and very reliable. I always seem to be able to find these. They're usually pretty cheap and they're not dirty, gumming up my gun with junk. I like that the cases are brass because my local range only allows brass cases, so you know it's nice being able to shoot my favorite ammo at my range. That's pretty cool. So why did I choose this load over other inexpensive target ammo? This stuff is just more consistent. Not to pick on this brand, but I'm going to use PMC Bronze as an example. A while back, maybe I think it was last month, I bought quite a few boxes of PMC Bronze because it was cheap at the time, very inexpensive. And I noticed that one round would feel like it was full power, and then the next one would feel kind of weak, and then the one after that would be kind of somewhere in between, and it just made training difficult. And I also noticed that it was cycling my Beretta somewhat sluggishly. I didn't experience any outright malfunctions because frankly, it's really hard to get the Beretta to malfunction. You have to do some pretty bad stuff to that thing to get it to malfunction. So, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I didn't experience any sort of outright problems, but it just, something didn't feel quite right there. And that was across all of the boxes that I bought. And maybe it was just that lot, I don't know. But I found that overall with other cheap ammo that there are usually some consistency issues for me. Your mileage may vary, but I also like this stuff because it feels like there's a little bit more oomph to it. And I don't know if that's maybe the propellant that Federal chooses over other manufacturers. I don't know. I've noticed that this is less stinky than the propellant in other cheap target ammo. So, hey, you know, that's nice, I suppose. This stuff, you know, on paper looks like it's about equivalent to something like PMC Bronze, but this is a lot more fun to shoot, and it has noticeably more recoil. I'm not the only person to notice that either. Some of my friends have been out with me shooting, and they've commented on the same thing. You know, this is not much more expensive or even cheaper than a lot of the other alternatives, while being of much higher quality. You know, what more can I say? It's great stuff. What would I change about this particular load? Absolutely nothing. I love it. You know, I just I hope the price always stays as low as it is now. It's great stuff. I've tried a lot of 9mm loads. I keep coming back to these. A lot of the other stuff is stinky and dirty. These aren't. Some of the cheap loads actually make my clothes stink afterwards. I'll come home and be able to smell the you know, really lousy cheap propellant smell. And, you know, maybe this is perception, but since I perceive more recoil with these, I feel like I'm getting more out of my training time. I feel like I'm maximizing my investment by shooting these. They're consistent, so I can really hone in on my technique and, you know, really get something out of each and every range session. I feel like that matters. And like I said, maybe it's entirely perception. It could completely be in my head, but either way, I'm benefiting from it, and that and that matters to me, or at least I think I'm benefiting from it. The consistency lets me focus on my performance, and the perceived extra kick, you know, whether it's real or not, makes these feel closer maybe to a defensive load. Really though, all that stuff aside, this load's just fun to shoot with a satisfying recoil, and I just like it. It's as simple as that. Well, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. See you next time. Goodbye.